All right, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus here, and I'm here with my buddy Gus, and we're gonna watch Lords of Chaos. So this has been an idea I've had for a while to do a commentary track, and I think now with the quarantine, the timing seems just about right. I have watched it. Gus, you have not, so this should be an entertaining experience. Any thoughts before we get started?
Um, I never actually thought I would get as close as to watching it, or even having the screen of Euronymous, or yeah, that's Euronymous, on my TV. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, and the book obviously is kind of hard to get. I'm just very curious what the excitement is about, but enough to get. Fenris...
I don't know if excitement's the right word.
All I know is that Fenris really threw this book in the trash and called it all fake and mockery and everything.
Yeah. And until they shut down fucking what's his face's YouTube channel? Varg, yeah.
Oh wait, what's his real name? Christian?
Yeah, yeah. He had a couple videos railing on it too.
He was really
I'll try not to spoil it too much, but they did him pretty raw. Like, I think they purposely casted a bigger dude to play him when he clearly did not look like that at all. And
all publicity just to get it out there. Money grabbing and all.
It is interesting that it's it's directed by, I forget the guy's name, but he was in Bathory. So yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Is it even Fuck, I really should have done all this before. I knew all this stuff, and then it's been a while since I watched this the first time.
I know, like, obviously the band, Bathory, it was thrown around, but I wasn't aware that one of the members was involved in this.
Jonas Ackerland. Excuse me. Which, also interesting, in addition to being in Bathory, he has directed music videos for a number of people, including Madonna and a bunch of other, pop musicians. So he's had
That's quite an
interesting career. He also directed, I don't know if you remember the movie Spun. No, it came out in the early 2000s. It's got a lot of it's got a pretty big cast, but it's like a really kind of B movie. It also has a cameo from dude from Judas Priest.
No.
God, I'm just blanking on fucking everything right now.
Was it the guitarist?
No, the singer.
Rob.
Rob. There you go. And so he directed that. It's all about a bunch of meth heads. But I think that's the only other movie he's done. Everything else has been like music videos. He did like a live thing for Rammstein, it looks like. He did Paul McCartney. Like he's all over the fucking place. But yeah, he was in Bathory though from 83 to 84.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So before he...
Oh, he even directed the video for The Prodigy's Smack My Bitch Up.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And worked with Pink, Blink-182, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga. He directed the Smashing Pumpkins video for Try, Try, Try. So, he's been all over the place. But enough jabbering. Let's start this thing. So, we're watching the version that's streaming on Hulu as of the time that we're recording this. So I'm going to give you a couple cues to kind of know where the starting point is. I'm going to hit start on the video right now, but I'll keep kind of cueing you as the different titles come up and stuff so you can try to sync up. So the goal is that you can find your own version of the video, however you choose to do that, and just play this at the same time, kind of like Mystery Science Theater style.
There's like 4 versions of this film, isn't it?
Probably.
At least.
Oh, fuck. I didn't account for the fact that since this is Hulu, there's going to be commercials. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. Well, I'll, well, shit. Maybe I'll try to, oh, God, that's going to be a pain. That's going to be a pain in the ass, but I'm going to, probably, anytime there's a commercial, I'm going to have to, say it so I can, edit it out. So we're getting the flying dog title screen thing right now. Oh, great, my fucking batteries are dying, too. Gunpowder logo came up. Vice Films just popped up.
You
I know that was my first cue that this was not gonna maybe be the best movie. That's my dog, Brock. Quiet. And since we are in quarantine, there are a lot of people in this house, so expect interruptions.
Dog, get out of here.
All right, we're looking at the Insurgent Media thing just dropped based on truth faded in, lies, and what actually happened. All right.
Norway, 1987. A very wealthy and religious country far up in the northern hemisphere. Look how much fun we have in the streets of Oslo.
There is way too much narration in this movie, too, I will say.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh gosh, here we go.
This is where I live with my typical Norwegian family. And that's my dad's Volvo in the driveway. My home country. Gray, boring, seal clubbing, and a very high
Seal clubbing?
Family picture.
But you couldn't be more wrong.
You know that's one of the Culkins, right?
Yeah, that's the older brother, I think.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them.
In this movie?
No, I just mean in general.
Oh yeah, there's 3.
And it will end badly. Cut 'em. What? Cut 'em.
They all say in film school that narration is like kind of the lowest form of like how to tell your story, and I for the most part agree with it. I think the only movie that does it really well is Fight Club.
Fight Club is still underrated, I think.
They do just look like a bunch of kids. There are some aspects of this movie that I do like.
Did it say what year they're starting?
They probably did, and I missed it because I'm talking.
Tell her to get out of here.
You guys suck.
Get the fuck out of here. Go. Get out. Go. Again. Life was so easy back then. It was all about having fun.
Ooh, circa 89. At least 88.
Anything else. When people told us what to do or how to behave, we always said, "Fuck you!"
I feel like we didn't need all this exposition with the narration. Like they could have just like played it,
Without
and
it.
it's like you would have gotten it. Like okay, it's a bunch of misfit kids. They're just fucking around.
Having fun,
Yeah.
drinking a couple of beers.
I'm still on the fence about the acting too, because I can't tell if the acting's not good or if they're doing a good job of showing how cringy fucking teenagers really are.
I want to say it's a mixture of both. Because they were barely even like
Yeah, they're just a bunch of fucking kids, which is kind of the
17,
interesting
18?
part of the story.
yeah.
Like I remember when I learned about what happens, I didn't like picture them as kids. Like I kind of pictured them as like being older, and then I had to like this did help me frame like, oh, they're just a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah. I thought they were like in their 30s, like, oh no, this
No.
happened. It's like, wait, they're just kids being stupid.
With this handsome fellow, Jan Axel, aka Hellham.
The hell am I?
There he is. You know he flipped me off once?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, like during a performance or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
We went to go see them. They were touring with Watain.
Oh, nice.
So we were right there in the front, Necro Butcher right there on the right.
Ben.
And you're just right there flipping people off and spitting. It was hilarious. He doesn't actually use a drum set anymore.
What?
Yeah, it's all electrical now.
Oh, really?
He has those electrical drumsticks. No, electrical
that
paddings.
seems so not black metal.
Oh no, yeah. This was 2017 or 18 when they last toured with Watain. The drum set was electronic.
Huh.
And you can hear the clicking on the bass pedal.
Y'all done? Good job. You want to leave it for Bandit?
Oh, there we go. When Dad crucified the mouse.
Watch out, man. Shit, man. No, the tape. Don't burn the fucking tape.
Bandit. Bumping the microphone. Get out of here.
Holy shit. We never heard anyone sing like that. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Perfect voice for Mayhem.
I love the 80s clothes.
Never forget.
There's so many pictures.
Turns out he wasn't from Transylvania at all, but from Sweden, our next door neighbor. He packed up all his shit and headed to Norway to join my band.
Again, like, I'd love to see a version of this where they just, like, edited the narration out. Like Blade Runner, basically. They've got, like, all the different versions of it.
There has to be like a version of it.
Hey, don't touch that. His name was Pella Olin. But he called himself Dead. And together, we moved to this luxurious villa in the province of Kroktorp. You in there? Are we ready to rock? We isolated ourselves and focused on our dark, evil music.
It's funny watching this because I fucking knew people like this in high school.
Really?
Like, yeah, they're all edgy, and if they could have built a coffin to sleep in, they would have. One thing I'm really disappointed about with any time I hear this story told, including this movie, is, you know, as somebody who's in counseling and psychology, I'm always interested to know about, like, their parents more and their families and all that shit. And I feel like that helps explain more of what happens later, but you never hear about it.
Yeah, no, I would love to know more information of how they tolerated this and how they dealt with it,
like,
and their opinions of the aftermath. You know?
Yeah. You don't really hear about that.
Mm-mm. They keep it really private.
One shot to the head and it's all over. No more pain. Come on, fucker, get up!
And they just, like, have guns. They just, like, hang out.
Yeah. You know, just let me
Parents don't give a shit. Like,
pop
what
out
are
my
they
rifle.
doing?
Cats more than anything.
Like that. This was a scene in when I did my video review of this, like forever ago when I watched the first time. I was like, we didn't need that commentary. Like when they cut to the cat hanging by the noose, I was already like, oh shit, that's this dude's kind of fucked up. And then they have to throw in the narration again of like, he hated cats more than anything. It's like, well, obviously. Did you really need to add that?
Yeah.
You know, like ruin the moment.
It's just right there, you know. I mean, they already zoomed in on the face. You know?
Like seriously, I want to know what this dude's deal is. Like, why was
Which
Dead
one?
dead? Like,
Dead?
why is Dead so fucked up?
I'm.
One shot to the head and it's all over.
You ever heard of that story when he was ice skating?
No,
Really?
no.
Yeah. When I first encountered his information online, as a kid, he was bullied so much, as they inform,
Yeah.
that often him and his family would go ice skating, like in public, or sometimes like in the outdoors.
Yeah.
He fell so hard that I think he fell into a coma or something like that.
Oh, really?
Something like that. I might be wrong. I'm just remembering from
That
what I
is
remember.
interesting because you do hear about like head injuries, like really.
Oh yeah, he had nasty
messing
head
you up.
injuries. I haven't went back and read over it in like
Huh.
4+ years. That I just know that he had a nasty accident that even him himself doesn't even remember it happening, but his parents like will talk about it like it's nothing.
Huh.
Like, oh yeah, he fell, but he's all right. He's a good kid.
He strikes me as someone who was like molested or something too. Like, I don't know. I just get this vibe.
Yeah. Like someone like a relative or something like
Yeah.
wronged him really badly, and that's what twisted his mind.
Terror incarnate. Ruler of chaos and death. Yeah, I remember your theater poses. Everyone around you are disgusting.
The classic trailer shot. I remember seeing that in the trailer and being like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a piece of shit."
Yeah, I was like, wow, they actually did it. Wow. I was so surprised. See the way he was like, "Don't smile, it'll fuck up the makeup." I'm just like, that sounds like something Euro would say.
Yeah.
But then Dead is saying it. But seeing how they're being portrayed, it does seem more likely.
Well, I feel like there's such like differing accounts of what Euronymous was really like too. I remember in Varg's videos on YouTube, he talked a lot about him being gay.
Euronymous?
Uh-huh.
Being gay.
Yeah, that's what Varg was saying. Varg was, and I'm saying it much nicer than, than Varg was saying it. He had some choice words for
I must have missed that video. It's not that I supported what he was doing. I mean, gosh, he was.
Varg?
He was.
Yeah.
He was going really crazy with his videos.
He's a weirdo, but he's so interesting.
Yeah, that was what I was. The amusement of it. But I think I missed that one. But that would have been really interesting. I can believe that. Him walking around with a little saw blade.
Good old.
Oh, okay.
R.I.P. Dio. Our metal parties weren't nearly that cool.
I was gonna say we should do something like that. Metal parties in movies are just superly overly exaggerated.
No, like, yeah, it was usually us just like hanging out in a basement watching like The Exorcist or some shit until we passed out.
We would go to an old park and just set stuff on fire.
Drinking some like Mike's Hard Lemonade that we managed to like steal out of the fridge or something. But hey, I don't know what Norway was like. It seems like there's some lawlessness.
Yeah, it seems like they were
based on everything that happened.
Everything was pretty easy and chill from the way they're portraying it.
That's one way of putting it.
Wouldn't be surprised if they pull out a tiger out of nowhere and be like, "Yo, look what I found." So, from your knowledge, do you know any other bands that's involved in this film, like portraying wise? Do you think there's gonna be an appearance of Immortal?
Oh, I don't remember any
like
cameos or anything. I mean, I might have missed it.
There's a cameo.
That's a man-ass.
Moon's out early.
Leaving the socks and shoes on. That's a look.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of reasons to get naked for a movie. I just don't know if this one's the movie that's worth it.
That's right. Yes. The infamous, I'm gonna bury my clothes.
Yeah. I want to smell like the grave.
Stage clothes. Dad's raw talent, dedication, and fucked up brain became a big influence.
Excuse me.
It was time to introduce the more evil than ever Mayhem to our local black metal head.
There it is.
To create some chaos.
The bag of dead stuff. Sick. I love those pictures. It's so entertaining.
Well, it's funny too. Again, like comparing, because some of them are like actual redone shots of. Well, and also this whole scene is actually, I believe, if I remember right, like a redone performance that actually was recorded.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I could be totally fucking around, but I think so. Like, I think that's why they're making a point to show that they're like recording it with the huge camcorder and everything.
I heard there was before it was even out, a rumor that that's
Oh,
not
that's
actually
Sky. Oh, go ahead.
that they weren't actually playing. It's just like an audio over high quality. You know, just
probably
them being in
Oh,
sync.
another thing too. Do you remember as part of the promotion for this movie, they did a Metallica music video?
Yes, they did, and it was. I don't even know how to explain it.
Fucking garbage.
Yeah,
it was just one more thing that was like, oh yeah, this movie's gonna be garbage.
Yeah, that was the first.
It was such a bizarre move because there's like nobody less black metal than current day Metallica.
Yeah. yeah, they were covering a song. I forgot what it was, but
Yeah, they just like
jammed out to something.
They lip synced it.
Yeah.
I remember two people were pissed that they casted Sky Ferreira as the love interest. See, they just showed her in the crowd.
Yeah.
But
was that legit though? I heard it was all fake. That there was no love interest.
yeah, that's another thing that Varg was saying, and I think Fenris too. Like they're all like, yeah, that's all fucking made up. Like there was no, and that was another reason. I think that was the reason why Varg brought up the fact that he was saying that Euronymous was gay, because he was like, there's no love interest. He was into dudes. Like, which I mean, I could buy that. I could buy that story. Like, you know, very religious community, repressed. Like, definitely couldn't say anything about it. So one more reason why he had to like act like a badass all the time. I don't know. That would have been that would have been another interesting angle to explore in this movie. Ugh.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because this is a infamous performance where he did like cut
can't
himself
believe he actually
and
did
shit.
that.
Ugh.
That's pretty.
I did. This was another thing too that I did say I gave the movie credit for, was that I've watched a lot of fucked up movies, and there's not a lot that can like really make me cringe now. But there's certain shots of like him cutting himself and stuff that really got to me.
It made me believe that you know he was going for it, but in the end, it's like nah. That's right. I think he throws the pig into the crowd.
I forget who the musician was, but in the When the Light Takes Us documentary, they show like a more present day black metal musician that was like cutting himself for performance art on
I got you.
camera.
It's Frost.
Yeah,
Frost
and that shit was crazy. I liked that documentary. That was my favorite part though is the Fenris's extended Black Metal 101.
I love
with
that.
the chalkboard. I love it so much. I watch it like every couple of months. Fucking duct tape.
Dumbass.
You guys are the best metal band in the world. Yeah, fuck yeah. Not just a fucking metal band. Sick of all those speed and death metal bands, all that Swedish shit. All they do is celebrate life and party. They should just call it life.
Wonder who that is.
Life metal.
We play black metal. True Norwegian black metal.
I don't know. I don't buy him fully as Euronymous. Like, I don't know.
Nah, I don't.
Like, I see what he's trying to do. Yeah, and here's Varg. Looking not at all like Varg. Yeah, here it is.
Wow. Damn.
Which my reaction to that would be like, all right, fuck you. I'm not gonna talk to you again.
Scorpions were huge back then.
Fuck, man.
They were like all over the place.
I still stand by my video I did on elitism being fucking shitty.
Yeah, you just can't go anywhere anymore without
let people get into shit. Yeah, like don't let shit get to you like
Yeah,
that. That shit pisses me off.
He just made Varg throw his patch away. Oh, there he goes.
And again, like I feel like the portrayal of Varg in here is kind of like
Laggy.
almost it's like cartoonishly campy, and it makes me wish I could really see what he was like,
I would
because
love
he's just
to
such
meet
a
him back
bizarre character.
Yeah, he had more interesting things doing than what the whole Mayhem band was doing. I mean, this guy was posing in his dungeon or basement with this big old gauntlet and his mace and all.
Yeah, they have that scene too. Sorry, I just choked on my beer.
The film is too much for
I'm
him.
gonna get another one. Hopefully before this big scene plays out. You want another beer?
Yeah, sure. I'll take another beer.
We're like almost out. Should have got more.
And it's like when they introduced him, Varg, or as he's going for a Christian right now, he just I'm not sold that that's him.
I fucking hate that.
There he goes.
I honestly feel like he's dead is the only
true one.
The only one I kind of buy as far as how he's being acted. But who the fuck am I?
Who are we to judge the truth of the lies? Wait, are we already there now?
Oh, are you fucking there? Yep.
Already?
Yeah, shit goes fast.
That was quick. Okay, so we're at his final days now.
They fucking move along in this movie.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of ground to cover. That was another idea I had was I think this would have made a much better Netflix miniseries.
It would have. Actually, that's a good one.
It would have been badass.
Wait, so he's in his apartment, right?
His apartment looks like a house.
But that's where Uranus found him, right? He climbed up like his balcony because the door was locked or something.
There's something with that.
There's a lot of mixed information.
This whole scene really, this is probably the best scene in the movie. I thought, like, I was really bought into just how disturbing this whole moment was.
Ooh.
Was he was 22, right?
Yeah, he was really young.
Yeah.
I feel like if he still lived, he would have offed himself in the mid 2000s. Wow. Was that part of his note? Let the party begin?
I didn't. You know, I am not as much of a scholar as the events. Like, I just remember hearing about it a lot from my friend in high school. Before I really, it took me a long time to get bought into black metal, actually, because
Really?
I was really interested in kind of the story, but then he would play me bits and pieces of like Dark Throne and Mayhem, and it just sounded like fucking noise to me. And it wasn't until many years later that I really got into it. But I do remember I was interested watching this scene because I had always heard it told that like Uranus came in and then he was like kind of excited that he killed himself and like called up
multiple people.
Them. It was like the best things happened. Dead's killed himself.
Yeah,
and
he actually did it.
That's not how this scene plays out at all. And so
no, they left that out.
Or is this more accurate? Because they do have him kind of like have his emotional reaction, and then he sort of like plays it up like, "Oh, I'm a badass. I'm a dark guy."
Oh. Yeah, he takes multiple pictures with him, doesn't he? And only he stashed it away or something.
Yeah. What does he do? Oh, I think does he buy a camera? It's been.
He goes and buys a camera and comes back.
It's crazy for me to think like.
And
when did this movie come out? Because it feels like just like maybe a year ago that I watched it, but I think it's much older than that already. Actually,
3 at least.
I'm getting too fucking old.
Yeah, he buys a camera. He moves the body, rearranges the brain.
Yeah. Oh, 2018. So 2
and
years.
Sets the shotgun next to him and all that.
Yeah.
Yep. He was all like, "Our next album is gonna be this." There he goes.
I just want to know, like, what happens to a person that makes them like this? That makes them decide that this is the proper reaction to running into this? Because, like, 99.9% of people would call the fucking police.
Yeah.
And, like, be freaking out.
Mm-hmm. He's just trying to live up to the, black metal.
Yeah, but there's more to it than that, though. Because I feel like, every kid goes through that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he does kind of. I remember the scene playing out a little bit differently.
The Mayhem mobile.
Like electrical tape.
Mayhem would be the band with the singer who blew his head off. Hey, you should say hey to piece of his brain, too. I got something for you guys. This is good. Every member of Mayhem will wear this at all times from now.
That's what freaked out Necro the most.
I still think, like, a more interesting movie would have been exploring why Euronymous would be like that.
The fuck am I doing? The fucking Whammo wearing that shit is sick. He was our friend and now he's fucking dead.
I don't have any friends. Nor should you.
This is so fucking...
You know what would make me buy him a little bit more as a Euronymous, too? That fucking shitty mustache that he...
Oh, yeah. The little
thin one. Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah.
It's up there in the worst stashes ever, for sure.
You're fired. Get the fuck out of my face.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Jordan, come back. He's coming
I'm
back.
gonna get on my bike and I'm gonna leave.
He's replaceable.
I'm gonna pedal away dramatically.
Speaking of bikes, there was this one article that Varg said that when they get so bored, they would ride around of Norway to like McDonald's, and they would throw rocks and break their windows and just ride their bikes away.
See, again, like, that's the story. Like, why is this community so fucked? I've been, like, waiting for a documentary on, like, Norway in the 80s. Why was it fucking garbage?
Yeah.
Helvete. Or
There it
Helvete,
is.
Sorry. Helvete.
His Wreckish sword. And coming the crop top.
Place for me and my people. A temple for evil, chaos, and black metal.
And Sky Ferreira. Who didn't exist. Oh, wait, there's the mustache. His looks better than what it actually looked like.
Yeah. The basement.
It would be pretty sick to have a record store with like a fucking catacombs
I
underneath
would
it.
love that.
I was building my own empire.
Make it into like a little bar.
Made me immune to reality.
Again, too much narration. Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
I mean, they're showing everything. Just
I could do whatever the fuck I wanted.
yeah, it's just too much.
Nothing could stop.
It's like really corny too.
Nothing can stop me. Incoming Vari. Nah, they could have done so much better with him. The gauntlet.
I always wanted to visit there. It looks beautiful.
Where he lived, or
Just
Or the store.
just Norway, Sweden,
Oslo? I agree. Yeah.
like Scandinavia. Like that's like top of my list of places to go if I ever if we can ever travel again.
Soon.
Was that that's a Venom poster behind him, isn't it?
There was, yeah.
Why do you sell this shit? Thought this place was true metal.
It is. I got music you can't find anywhere else in the world. It's not on display for posers.
Where is it?
If you know it, you'll find it. The poser won't find shit.
Oh.
This reminds me of that scene from Metalocalypse. Do you like it?
Yeah, it was alright.
Then I hates it.
Do you like it? Get your Burzum burgers here. I was just watching season 1 the other day.
Oh my
I
god.
love it.
I fucking love that show.
I'm love-
still hurt that they're
So-
not gonna finish it.
One of these days.
I want to do fucking full commentary rewatching all those. Oh, it's so hot out here. I need to take off my fucking shirt off. I just saw one of these actors in something else, and it's bothering me. The tall, lanky dude, that guy. I'm trying to think of what I saw him in. Is he this? Maybe he's the Skarsgård. I think there's a Skarsgård in here because there's like 5 million Skarsgårds.
So what do you now? I mean, I've changed my name.
Tuvar.
I can't take him seriously.
No, it's. Well, it's funny seeing him. What the actor looks like too. His fucking short hair and everything. Like, how do you cast that guy? It's so weird.
Wigs and makeup.
Oh, it is a Skarsgård. Yeah, it's Walter Skarsgård. He's related to the It dude.
Ah, that's right.
No? Like Hitler.
Yeah, exactly like Hitler.
Man, there are a lot of Skarsgårds. Jesus Christ. Dude from True Blood,
You've got your own band,
Stellan.
own record shop, and your own label.
Ah, fuck, that's making me hungry.
What is he eating?
It's like a burger.
That's not a burger. That's like a shawarma or something.
Romania, countries all over the world make dark evil music. You know why?
Yeah, it is a shawarma. It's really
Nice.
thin. Or like a panini or something.
People are ruled by dictatorship. Just like us, you know it. Like us? What? Yes. The fucking church. They're oppressing us with their kindness and their goodness. Brainwashing the entire population with fake empathy and fucked up solidarity. Hate them in their churches.
I don't know if is it the writing, is it the acting? It just feels very stilted. It's like
it's the acting.
I get
You get it, right?
the point that they're supposed to come off like cringy, stupid young people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah, there's the scene, and it looks so goofy with him. But
Yeah.
the way it's written and the way it's delivered, like, still, it's like nobody would talk like that.
Yeah.
Like, not even like the goth poser type dudes. Like, I knew people like this in high school, and yeah, they were cringy and annoying and ridiculous, and I'm sure I was too. But I just don't feel like it sounded quite like that. Like, I just don't buy it.
I feel like It looks like they only had 1 hour to read the script, and then they felt so bad they had like a projector behind each other's, and they're just reading it. Because you ever notice when they're talking, they don't even look at each other. They look behind them.
What do I say next?
Oh.
I also argued that I would have potentially enjoyed this movie more in Norwegian.
Actually, yeah, I would not complain about that.
I know subtitles can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but I just feel like it would have been a little bit more. It would have added an extra layer of
the way
genuineness to it.
Yeah.
Brain dead.
The way they're going, if it was in Norwegian, I feel like you would still be able to follow along.
Yeah.
Because they portray like, oh, I'm sorry about your singer. Oh, this band. Oh, us in Norway, you know. I have a shop opening up. I feel like...
And cast Norwegian actors, too.
Yeah.
Dude's ripped.
I don't remember him being that swole.
Yeah.
He was
Euronymous was definitely not swole. He looked kind of paunchy. I remember him having a little bit of a gut.
Guts?
Like, he wasn't fat, but he was...
He was
like,
there.
He was... I'll bet he had a little pooch.
Little pooch.
Oh, no, all right, here he is in a crop top, so... Yeah, he definitely didn't have a six-pack. I guess he was trim. But he was kind of girly looking. Yeah. He was dainty.
Or as my friends like to call him, he was a true diva.
Aw, I like this picture of him with the cockatoo. That's cute.
Oh, shit. Looks like he slept in his car.
Seriously, evil music, man. It's perfect for my label. Only one fucking problem. I'm broke. Good luck.
Wait, I can get the money. Please, shut up.
Weird.
That, I don't know that was added on. I didn't know about that either.
Yeah.
We joined forces and together we recorded Burzum's first ever studio recording at the legendary Kellen Studio. How you feeling? Feeling good? Yeah? Say it all! Oh, who the fuck that was?
I want one microphone in the center of the room, nothing else.
Trying too hard.
That's right. They stayed in the studio for like the whole day. They winged everything the whole day. And ironically, full moon, and I think they had a gong too in there. I keep thinking that dude over there, the big one, I feel like, I don't know, he's the dude from like Bewitched. I mean, does he not give you that vibe? You know, being all cool, scrawny, no, not scrawny, crazy fluffy hair. I feel like that's him.
The next album's almost done. The most evil music you've ever heard.
It's my band.
It's coming out on my label. Cool. So, planning any gigs? Of course not. Concerts for those Swedish life metal bands.
Exactly. Posers claiming to be Satanists when all they want to do is drink beer and have a good time. I hate that. All those death metal kids with their stupid morbid angel t-shirts are making a trend out of something that was meant to instill fear. They should put them in the showers and gas them to death.
I don't believe he said any of that. I like how go on.
I don't know. I could believe he said it, but again, like, there are movies and shows where there's a character being portrayed as trying to fit into, and they're trying too hard.
Edgy.
And it comes across right. Here, I just feel like I'm watching people, like you said, like, who just, like, read the script and then just, like, read it, like, verbatim, like, really quickly. And didn't really put any like thought into it.
Yeah. Like, what they didn't already talked about Hitler for a moment. Now he's saying put them all in the showers and gas them. It's like, really? But then again, I mean, at this point where the now Varg is going, I'm slowly convinced that he's a liar.
Well, it's almost also like, oh, this is the part of the movie, like, oh yeah, we need to have some like anti-Semitism in here. So here we go. Here's some lines.
Say this, the people will believe it because of the rumors and all.
That's bullshit. You're for real.
Well, I don't know. Seems like you just copied that. You know all that Satanist talk was just Minge, right? Venom.
She's hardcore, bro.
You know you're screwed when the girl's more hardcore than you.
Never said I would.
You know, come to think of it, have you ever seen a picture of any of these guys with a chick?
No, I was literally. About
I can't think of one time.
I mean, there was that one chick, the bird that Uranus was holding. That counts, right?
No, I see what you did there.
I was gonna say I've never heard anything of this chick
Not
being
one-
relevant.
Well, that's not one picture. Not one. I'm even like scrolling right now. I mean, unless you count the thick Euronymous picture, which is the best picture ever, with his legs like crossed.
Yeah,
He thick as hell.
it's like they said they deny everything to having like a relationship with this one chick, but there's like not a lot of like information for it. You know, they're just like, yeah, no relationship. He gay. Did you know Varg has a older daughter?
I knew he had kids.
Oh yeah, he has like 7 now.
Jesus.
But before them, he had one that he met a pop girl, got together and had a kid, and then he just cut them off.
Oh, really?
Right before he went to jail. And in
I didn't know that.
one of his videos, early videos before he started deleting some of them, he said that he only keeps in contact with the daughter once a year.
That's fucked up.
Like he'll write letters to her and she'll write back and that's it. And for the girl that he got with, they don't even talk at all. I don't know how he does it when he's all like family, keep them together.
yeah, no, right.
But then you got this,
That's how most of these people are, though.
yeah, the first daughter just being shunned out like she's nothing.
And they printed it wrong. It should be spell of destruction.
I do like that they included the classic
mess up
like
one.
misspellings and shit.
Because it's better with black.
I always think of the bad like translations too. Like there's a classic one on one of the Emperor albums.
Oh, the first one?
Is the Black Wizards one. How does that go?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like really poorly translated.
Let's see. See, when I get into bands, I love to study their albums.
I am the Black Wizards.
And yeah, I just like to know, oh, they recorded it here, it took them this long, and like if they had like any fights during like, oh, he had issues with the lyrics or he had issue with like the sounding, and like I know there was some ridiculous like translation. Oh, would you look at that? It's the infamous church.
Yes.
So they rebuilt the church, and black metalheads, they literally travel to that church that they rebuilt just to get married.
Go ahead.
And then they're like, yeah, we got married at the newly remodeled church that Varg burned down in '93.
Jesus, I'm gonna get this dog.
Right now, it looks like Varg left a dead, shriveled up rabbit, and as he left, the church is in smoky right now. No flames yet.
Smoky times.
But now Euro is witnessing the news about the church that Varg left.
Police suspect the fire was deliberate. No suspects so far. He did it.
It's funny how little things will cue like memories, like just seeing the volume control on that old school TV. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, I used to look like that.
My TV still does that.
Really?
It's blue.
That's funny.
Put it up to 5 bars, or put it at the halfway point, 4 bars and a half.
I mean, it kind of makes more sense when you think about it, because then you can actually know like how many bars you usually put it at, as opposed to just having
60.
the continuous bar. Well, I guess there's a number though.
I don't like the
I'm a
numbers.
fucking
It
idiot.
throws
I don't
me
know what
off.
I'm talking about.
No, you're good. No, there's TVs that's like, oh, turn it up to number 34, but don't put it at 36. It'll be too much. I don't like those. I have an issue with that.
He fucking did it.
I think I also would have been interested to see like have some characters on like the police force.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be interested in what their view of what was going on was.
That
And
would be
like
really
how
good.
long it took them to figure out that it was just a bunch of fucking kids.
Yeah.
What you doing is fucking cool.
So cool,
Been
bro.
talking about it for years. I'm glad you got inspired. Inspired? We finally did it.
We.
Now think of all the people.
I do like that moment.
About what happened to their dear
When you said we, and his
Yeah.
face like changed. Yeah.
So you can't lose face. He's still got to be the ringleader.
I think that's how it started out too,
Yeah.
because he tried to like claim. Oh.
Laugh now. You fake fucking Nazi.
Well.
After the Fantoff church burning, everything became a fucking competition.
That's right.
Whatever I did, Barb did 10 times bigger and better. His creativity was exploding.
Asuke.
He fucked anything that moved. He added another stupid name to his list of names. 3 feet Krishna.
There's the crop top.
Yeah.
No, he's not fucking here. Get out. The world I built was about to fall apart. And how many fucking girls can one fuck?
I'm sorry, but no.
There were churches burning all over.
Classic dying bird vocals.
Disappeared behind his actions. Fuck. I had to do something.
Be honest. Burzum or Mayhem before Varg's jail.
It.
Bass player, man.
I'm not like particularly honestly in love with either of them, but if I were to pick like my favorite album from the two, it would be Philosophem.
Congratulations.
I'm not gonna lie, that was my first album
Yeah.
I got sucked into.
I think it's better than De Mysterium Dom Satanas,
That's the
like classic, you know.
one that looks like a D&D picture, right?
Well, no, oh, Philosophem.
No.
De Mysterium Dom de Satanas. Is
Oh,
the one
that's
with the
Mayhem.
church. Yeah.
My bad.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I think that's the most
I just can't get into
engaging album to listen to.
What's his name? Attila?
Yeah,
I can't get into his voice.
yeah, he has a very weird
But
voice.
I-
But then again, so does Varg.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, he purposely got shitty microphones.
yeah,
And
yeah. That was
really,
like a thing. It was almost like a competition of who could like record the shittiest sounding guitars and everything. I remember too. I have the I highly encourage anyone to get the like collector's editions of the Emperor albums and the I have all 3 of the first 3 Dark Throne albums, where it's like the fancy booklet ones, and it's got the commentary from Fenris, and then the other one has notes from Isan. and they talk about how they would like go into the studio and the producer would like, make it sound nice, and they'd be like, no, like we don't we don't want it to sound like it. We want it to sound like shit.
All the distorted work they did. The producer's like, hey guys, so here you go, and it's all just. Oh my god! It sounded like power metal. He's like, no, bring back the distortion. That's what we want.
It's like they'd let them like fuck with all the knobs and basically probably be like, whatever, they're paying me, so.
Isan is very picky, but he's a smart man.
Oh,
very, very.
He's one of the last ones that like I think of the group. He's kind of like the most. Him and Enslaved are kind of the most interesting still now to me. Like, I will still buy Isan albums, I will still buy Enslaved albums, because they're still doing stuff that's like fresh and interesting and relevant.
Oh. The bomb wasn't set up, huh? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if this was like... This seems like it was just something that was scripted in to make it more entertaining.
Yeah. Is he ripping up the
Bibles? Nice turtleneck.
Yeah. He did wear turtlenecks, that's right. Yep, competition after another. Bomb doesn't go. Burn the Bible. Ah, it's masked.
Again, like... This is what I always talk about in my work, too, because my job is, like, I have people that come in, and I'm constantly hearing, like, oh, the kid did this, they're, like, beating the crap out of their sister or brother, they went to the hospital because they were suicidal, whatever, and my question is always... Okay, why'd they do it? Like, what's going on? What's going on at school? What's going on at home? Like, give me the who, what, where, when, why.
What's your information?
That's what's interesting to me, and that's what leads to solutions.
Yeah.
And so I watch this, and I'm like, okay, here's the, like, behavior.
Yeah.
But, like, why is it happening? Like, why are they... What's the motivation? And, I mean, I think that... Now that I'm thinking about it, that's the problem with this whole movie to me, is that's sort of the key to any movie, is what's my motivation? Mm-hmm. Like, that's even, like, a classic line whenever you see, like, movies and shows where they're, like, portraying actors.
Yeah.
And the actor will ask, like, what's my motivation for doing this? And it's like, that's so important, because if you don't have a motivation, then
you're just there like
it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And there are some situations where that can be interesting, like The Dark Knight, where the Joker doesn't really have a motivation. He's just fucking chaos. But for the most part, like, what's most in... Like, even, like, I'm thinking of, like, Thanos from, the Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. His motivation is what makes him an interesting villain. But with these characters, I'm just kind of like, okay, they're just doing things.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah.
So it makes me less invested in them. I kind of just dislike them, which I guess is part of the point, because you shouldn't like what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But I want to know, like, there are protagonists, so to speak. We're experiencing the movie through them. So I want to know, what makes them tick.
Yeah, why are they doing this? What's pissing them off so much? Instead, they're like, oh, next scene, they're right there in the church. And it's like, why?
Oh, what happened next in the timeline? Oh, okay, we need to get to this. Okay, now we're gonna stab a gay guy to death.
They're just jumping around.
Yeah. Because they've got the beats they need to hit, which again is why I'm saying Netflix series would have been way better for this, because they could have spaced it out. They could have fleshed these characters out. They wouldn't have had to rush from event to event, because they know that whoever's watching this is going to expect, like, oh, when's this going to happen? When's this going to happen? But it's like,
who's this guy portraying?
This is he's the one that went to the one that like went away.
No, this is the one that the man follows him and he kills him in the forest, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Faust.
Yeah. Is it Faust or Faust?
It's Faust.
Faust.
Based
Yeah.
on the classic
Yeah.
character that made the deal with the devil.
The guy follows him, and I don't know.
He's kind of tricked this gay man to follow him out so that he could kill him.
We can do whatever we want.
Ooh.
That was exactly like it. We used to go around carrying one of those. Liar.
Well. Yeah, whenever I find like bands, I like to do research on like individuals. When I first read what he did, I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
this guy, holy cow!"
Well, the dude from Dissection too.
What did he do again?
One of them did the same thing. He killed a guy who was gay.
The
I
main
don't know
dude,
if it
right?
was because dudes in Dissection were pretty fucked too. And then he killed himself too.
Now, do you think they killed the person because of who he was, or just
That's
because
what
he was
again,
being stalked of?
This brings me back to like, what's my motivation? Like, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Because was it solely like, oh, okay, you know, I want to be cool like the other guys?
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like, why choose this particular crime? Why a gay person? Like, what was the hang up there? Like, was there something going on in his family where like they were against, you know, people being gay? Was it just the times and the stigma? Or was it just like, oh, this would be an easy way to get somebody that I could kill, and I just want to kill somebody, doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part of this story, and to me that's infinitely more interesting than just the shock value of watching him just kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like, they try so hard to like make this like such an impactful scene, and I just don't
I don't buy it.
I don't care, which is a problem because like he's just killing this innocent dude, and I should care, but I don't.
Yeah. I don't believe that this innocent man made the first move. I believe they interacted for a bit. They talked.
Yeah,
something.
that makes more sense to me too, is that like maybe they were like kind of like he was kind of into it, and then it got to a point where it freaked him out.
Or he knew him
I
from
don't
somewhere
know.
else. I feel like he knew him from like a past, and that they somehow just met up at the restaurant they were at.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish this guy right here. I don't need him.
Yeah, no, you were right too. So yeah, it was the leader of Dissection, John Nothvite, killed an Algerian national who is also a homosexual.
Oof.
And his friend Vlad was involved as well. They only went away for 10 years.
Wow.
That's something I've always been interested too, though, is I see court cases in other countries and like these very short sentences. Mandatory minimum sentences.
I did it. That was you? Yeah. What? When? Last night.
Like, this should be to me like another like big moment scene where it's like, oh shit, we've gone too far.
Yeah.
Fucking move, man. Congratulations.
But it just does not come across.
New hero of the Black Circle. We should celebrate. Burn down fucking church, huh?
Yeah, we should, you know.
Let's burn down fucking church. I'm so torn because again, like I know young people are about that cringy, but it's not. It doesn't translate to the screen well.
You gotta be in that moment. You can't just be like, all right, we're gonna reenact this cringy thing that happened in 94, 93, and hope for the best. Sounds like Metalocalypse. Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
The producer dude.
Yeah, with the weird robotic eyes. Fuck, I forgot his name.
We're recording a mermaider.
So many hits too.
Yeah. You're gonna rule the world now.
eel chair.
That was a good episode.
Oh my god, one of the best.
Breaking news: Nathan Explosion has deleted the full album once again.
The fans are all committing
suicide in front of the store.
Yeah.
Wait, before you delete the hard work deletes, do it again.
No, mother douchebag.
My fingers are starting to hurt now.
Underwater, friends.
That scene was hilarious.
That's so bizarre.
My all-time one is when they actually go to do they actually go to Norway for the monster, for the Awaken song?
Are they in Norway for that, or is that? Where do they go for that?
No, yeah, that was it. The same episode
Troll.
because you gotta get the
Yeah.
That's the grandpa guitar.
Grandpa's guitars.
That's the grandpa guitar.
What are these wood things? Chairs?
I have a confession. I don't know how to read music notes.
I just play whatever. Yeah, it's an old musician's trick. You just play whatever.
Just play whatever and just
It
go along with it.
Sounded pretty good. Yeah, it did sound pretty good.
Or again from the top. 1, 2. Hilarious.
See, this is the problem right here. Like, I'm watching this, but I'd rather we're talking about Metalocalypse because we'd both rather be watching that right now.
Yeah, there were two previously masturbating to the cross, throwing gasoline everywhere. Church already burned up right away, just like that, like a leaf. I like that. The only thing out of Norway is that church burning, and
Yeah, that
see
is
the
a cool
lights
shot.
just Motorhead. Wow.
The Ace of Spades. R.I.P. Again. Too many of these people dying now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you too. Ozzy's next. Ozzy's fucking next,
as much
dude.
as it's gonna be a shocker, I wouldn't. I'm gonna.
Ozzy's fucking next.
I'll be
man.
sad,
The writing's on
but-
the wall.
Yeah, but I'll be like, oh shit, oh well.
Yeah.
I missed him twice because of his spine popped out of place, and then this one, I guess, is he has what is that? What does Michael J. Fox have?
No. Does he
Yeah,
have that?
he has that now.
Fuck, I forget
It's
what
messing
that's
up with his
called.
voice now. Parkinson's, yeah.
Oh shit.
And Michael J. Fox got involved and said, yeah, when you have Parkinson's, it messes up with your vocals. And so Ozzy's like not even singing anymore. That last album that he came out with, which is actually interesting, you can tell that's gonna be his
Yeah.
last one, like except for like guest appearance, like what he did with what's that one dude?
Oh yeah, you did that shit with like Post Malone, right?
Yeah,
Fucking weird, man.
was-
It's a weird time for
it was
music. It's
really-
kind of cool though.
yeah.
I have not heard that song, but I've been a big advocate for, a lot of people are shitting on like all this like pop crossover with metal stuff, but I'm all for it because
I'm not
I think
gonna
that's
lie,
getting
it was
more
really
into the
interesting.
mainstream.
It was not my cup of tea, but I was like, okay, this is what
Yeah.
he's doing. I mean, he's
Yeah.
like almost 70, or is he 70?
Yeah,
he
dude,
has like the right
fucking-
to do whatever he wants
Yeah,
now.
fucking do whatever. do whatever you feel like. I'm not a big fan of Post Malone's music, so I just in general not. But I like a lot of shit. Like I love Danny Brown.
Oh, really?
Shit like that too. So like, and he's into like some metal shit too, and so I'd be all for some of that crossover. But
It's funny. The other day I found out that Willie Nelson is super big on like heavy metal.
really,
Yeah, it's really really interesting
That's
finding that out.
hilarious.
It's hilarious. Look at that Venom poster. He has to take it everywhere he goes.
Gotta do it. I do think Mayhem has one of just the most classic logos, though. It's just something about it. It's just so instantly recognizable. It translates really well.
Yeah. Well, it's spread out.
It's not overdone too, because a lot of these black metal logos are like so like they make all those joke memes about like, you know, it's all like a scratched up old leather couch, and they're like this couch is about to drop a raw black metal single.
Yeah.
But like Mayhem went with something kind of a little bit more simple.
Just with your eyes. Okay, maybe not.
I do kind of like this scene, even though it probably never happened. But I
No.
like the idea that we've got these like really intense, scary images of this guy, and it was just like his girlfriend snapping photos of him in the courtyard, and they're like joking around, and so it's like not at all what it seems. I like that concept, but it's probably not exactly what was going on. I also do like that she's got the I laughed that she gets the corpse paint smeared all over her face too.
Oh, he's finally
Plus-
getting some now.
Plus boobies, so can't say no to that.
I don't think this ever happened. But then again, who are we to know the actual truth of the lies? If anything, they're really glorifying him right now.
This music is tripping me out though. It feels really out of place
It does.
from the rest of the movie. It's like, where did this come from?
There was
like
no-
if you were making a love story, fine. Like they could have made a whole movie where it was like the love story of this like black metal musician, but
Yeah.
that's not what they were doing. We've like barely seen her. This isn't particularly earned. Yeah, this part made me laugh.
I feel like when he did all those pictures, he had it like all set up on a timer or something. You have to like give me really solid, concrete details that this happened. You know, there's like no talk of it whatsoever.
Boobies. This dream sequence felt very random too.
I feel like deep down, he did have a soft spot for Dead. But of course, you know, being in the black metal scene or whatever it was back then,
Yeah, you can't.
show that to them because
Yeah.
that's just like showing weakness. But I feel like they did have some kind of connection, and that deep down he actually cared for him. But in the end, he had to keep up his reputation of being like, oh, black metal.
Oh, is this where the... Okay, maybe this is why I'm remembering this scene playing out differently. So, yeah, they show... maybe not. What am I remembering here? I don't know. My brain is just, like, creating scenes. Skyfer also had a cameo in Twin Peaks Season 3, which is fucking amazing and way better than this.
I
So
need to catch up.
if you're still listening to this commentary, you should turn this off and go watch Season 3 of Twin Peaks, because it is so amazing.
Metalocalypse.
Or Metalocalypse, yes.
You really miss him, don't you?
Is that this? You remember when they said that they have like that secret meeting and all, and there's only like maybe like 3 or 4 pictures of him just sitting in a chair? Was
Yeah,
that at his?
sorta.
Was that at his house or was that like in an apartment?
I don't know. I never got
Because
that deep with this.
that rug looks really familiar
The rug.
from the pictures
Well,
they've taken.
Of all, fuck the writing, fuck the acting. What we really need is that rug
The
from
same
that
rug.
obscure picture that nobody's gonna notice.
And the couch. That's how you know I went too deep into the
Yeah.
whole band. Grew up with them.
Now, in 1993, you're gonna blow it up. Wait, blow it up? You guys ready?
Blow it up.
Let's go get some. I don't get it. You want to have the cathedral on the cover, but you don't want to blow it up. It's just an album cover. No, it's not just an album cover. You have fan art on the cover of Asking. You even included matches. That was a call to action. Use the matches to burn down a church, like I did. My name is Varg.
Ooh.
We're in this together. We want the same thing.
We do. Yeah. In that case, let's get some fucking dynamite. You guys coming? Let's blow this up.
Wrong time, buddies.
I don't feel any genuine tension between these two people. You motherfucker.
Yep, he released the bomb.
Ruled by a dictatorship, and our people are brainwashed with empathy and solidarity by the church, and their stupid Christianity doesn't bother you anymore.
Of course it does. I hate that shit.
Either you do it for the cause and you take action, or you do it because you want attention.
Oh.
You stupid ass celebrity rock star. You can't have it both ways.
Well, well, well.
What'd you say to me? You wanna fight? Oh, that's Attila, isn't it?
Yeah.
Such a weird voice. Yeah, that's
all I
good.
hear.
That's
Meow,
pretty good.
meow.
I'm a sad boy. Sit in my empty room.
I like how that's the only movie they revolve around is them watching Evil Dead 1 or 2.
And Brain Dead. Peter Jackson. It still blows my mind that before Lord of the Rings, this masterful trilogy that he made fucking schlocky B horror movies that are equally amazing for different reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Press, we have to take this to the next level.
The next level is jail.
Talk about it in such a way that our identity will be kept anonymous.
What's the plan going to the press then?
We have to introduce them to the Black Circle. They need to know what we've done and that we intend to do more.
This is a bad idea. No.
I'm not asking for your permission, Royston.
Why the fuck are you calling me then?
I don't care what you say. I'm doing it.
It's going to affect all of us. Alright, I already have the police following me. They're probably outside your window now.
You're paranoid. Absolutely paranoid.
Hang on a sec.
Fuck Christian. My name is Varg.
Just do as I fucking say, Varg.
Fuck you.
So at this point, Varg calls Euronymous, telling him that he's gonna go for the press. Doesn't need any of his permission. Would be interesting to hear the actual phone call they had between each other, if it actually even exists. And now it shows, I believe it's Varg. Yeah, it's Varg. He's sitting in his room. He has his sword. He has a swastika poster behind him. Actually, there's more than just swastika now. Look, he has his candles light up and everything. Looks like he has a couple of people coming in right now.
Switch. Pittsburgh.
And this is my photographer.
My photographer.
Gravy Krishna. Pardon? Gravy Krishna. I'm sorry, what are you saying? Count. Call me the Count. Okay.
The Count.
Great.
Count Chocula.
Okay. You called me, so...
This is me. This is how I feel sometimes interviewing bands. Actually, I feel like most of the bands I interview are really cool. I have had a band here and there, and I will never name names, but on occasion there have been times where I'm just like, this is really awkward, and this person takes themselves too seriously. I would. This is why I'm very choosy in. Brock, shut up. So I'm very choosy in the bands that I decide to interview, and I choose them more based on kind of personality and interaction than how big they are or how much I even necessarily love their music. It's like I want us to like have a cool conversation, and on occasion that has fallen through a little bit, and then it's like a really awkward interview because the person's like too bought into their own hype, so to speak.
Okay, so why did you do this? Is it because of society or unexpected origins? Our origins. So you believe in heaven? And you're a Satanist, and you're also Nazi. That's a pretty broad belief system.
Well, these things are all connected. That may be hard for a journalist and normal people to comprehend.
Yes.
So now it seems like Varg is putting down the journalists, thinking that they know nothing about what their intention is. And here they are just trying to get information off of him, but he's getting all hostile about it. It's almost like speaking to like a 13-year-old saying, "Hey, why did you do that? And what's the purpose?" And then he's like, "I did it because I did it. That's all." So yeah, go for it. I mean, burn that church, but what's the sole purpose? Not because of Christianity taking over Norway's soul.
I feel like this guy's interested in what we've been talking about this whole time. It's like, stop with the bullshit and just like give me what's really interesting here. Like, put down the facade.
Yeah. Why are you actually doing this?
Yeah, why are you a fucking crazy person? Yeah, that would be me too. To a point, it's like you don't want
to waste your time with some made-up fiction
and you
story or
also
whatever.
don't want to be like a mouthpiece
Yeah.
for somebody's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like...
Because you're putting your work
like,
out there for them.
Yeah, I'm all for talking to anyone. Like, I get annoyed with people who are like, I won't even talk to them because... Like, that shit annoys me too. But it's like, if I'm going to sit down and talk to somebody, I want to fucking talk to them and figure out what makes them tick. If they're just going to sit there and, like, spout a bunch of bullshit and not be genuine, then there's no fucking point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Fantastic, great. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Can you hold this? Yeah.
Ah. So that's where the infamous posing with Varg's knives came up.
Looks very evil, yeah. Maybe you can just look with one eye, like an evil eye. Yeah. You can't see my face, right?
No, but we got your shrines behind you, though.
But that fucking idiot will be on the throne stage tomorrow.
Woo! So now this is the part where Varg is walking to the police station with his Venom shirt.
Fucking idiot. In just a heartbeat, the Black Circle became a fucking circus show. Varg was the ringmaster, and we were all his fucking clowns. And he enjoyed every minute of it.
Varg is in an interview.
You guys got nothing on.
Newspapers are all over the place with his pictures and knives and all.
So fucking cool. Or is a celebrity now? Did your father stop paying the rent? I'm gonna fucking kill him. You gonna kill your father?
I hate my father. I hates my father.
I hate my father. He's a dildo.
he is dildo.
Drag him to the forest, tie him to a tree, torture him to death, and make a fucking snuff film out of the whole thing.
Here we go.
For real?
For real?
You fucked it up for all of us!
Oh, yeah, because his dad stopped paying rent because he got scared of what the community's being.
See, that would have. I don't know about that stuff. Like, that would have been more interesting. I would have loved to have, like, seen his dad as a character.
Oh, yeah. Saying, I'm not going to pay for his store
Cutting him
anymore.
off. Why? What's his motivation?
Mm-hmm.
Kerrang magazine? Kerrang magazine. That's funny. Fuck you, Jackass.
How long have you rolling this? The creator of True.
Is that the guy from
What, the actor?
Shaun
or-
of the Dead?
No.
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 Christian Varg, the Count, gets released from jail. And I said it all along. No, I'm not saying he didn't do anything. Police don't have shit on him. I am. I've been the leader from the beginning. With the Count. Write this. The Count you're on is Shirley.
Count Chocula.
But I'm the creator of true Norwegian black metal. I'm releasing Mayhem's new album, The Mysterious Dome Satanis. D-E.
That's kind of funny. I have to spell it.
It's a 1S, not
Yeah.
2.
There's little moments. There's little moments sprinkled in here. I had a bracelet just like that. I might still have it somewhere. I'll never forget, I had another one that had like the long spikes on it, like almost like Gorgoroth style. And
Oh, man.
my physics teacher was like, "You can't wear that in here."
Yeah, no, my school was so not up for spikes. Oh, my. I brought like my...
I mean, I
leather
get it
jackets
because
and
it is
all.
like a weapon.
Yeah. Oh, you can literally just bump
But-
into someone and be like, hey...
Oh, here
Yeah,
it is.
there
Okay, I'm
it
not
is.
imagining it. Yeah, they had this other
Yeah.
like alternative.
I swear, he did cry at
Dude.
least a little bit. And then he, like, pushed it
Because
off.
it's not a normal human reaction to just whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
More of that would have been interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The
Really.
internal struggle.
It would have made the film much more better.
Yeah.
Going into depths of...
Much more better.
I mean, it's cringe.
That's the type of writing I'd expect from this movie.
It's like cringe, black metal, cringe. Let's do this girl, cringe.
Yeah.
No, I'm more better than
Movies.
you. It's a competition. The cringiest of them all.
And again, they made Varg into like this like
He wants to fit in.
snidely whiplash.
Yeah. He wants to fit in, but he knows he can't do it, so he
Yeah.
has to make his
Which-
own world.
Which could be interesting,
Mhm.
but they just overdo him to the point where he just doesn't feel relatable at all. Doesn't feel like a real human being.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. Your name's all over the magazine. Says the guy on the cover. I'm on the cover because I talked to the press. And now you're taking credit for that. You were against that, remember? I was not against it. I was just sorry.
You know those magazines are worth a lot now,
I'll bet.
especially with all the
I
churches
don't think
burning.
I've
and
ever
all.
seen that actually.
Really? By Kerrang?
Yeah.
I think it's like I could have sworn I saw it floating around here and there.
I'm the one who can't show my fucking face without being recognized.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's like worth a lot right now.
That's crazy. Arson, death, satanic ritual. The ugly truth about black metal.
Yep.
Boy, that old Kerrang logo is ugly as shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't know they went back into like the 90s.
1993. Yeah, I didn't realize they were that old either.
I thought they were like 2005 for like all the pop punk scene
Well,
people.
look at that lineup too. Plus, Iron Maiden, Mindfunk, Butthole Surfers, Alice in Chains, and Infectious Grooves. That is a mixed magazine right there.
They were really trying to get everybody in that magazine. Is that Megadeth down there?
Yep. Metallica would be bigger than Guns N' Roses if they still had me.
Ooh.
Oh, snap.
Those were fighting
Shots
words.
fired. March 27th, 1993.
I can only imagine how it would have been if Mustaine was still with Metallica.
Now you betray us.
They would have broken up.
You're a hypocrite. We should be making true black metal music for a select few. Tours are for posers. Never sell out.
Look at these pictures.
Cringy, huh?
Oh, dude, he's got the Venom shirt over... Dude, the t-shirt over the long sleeve shirt is such a classic look.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I attracted people.
Bring it back. Oh, my God, this one with the fucking cloak, too, is so good.
Who's that, Mark?
Yeah.
I've never seen that one before.
It's so good.
Double
Oh,
tap
wait,
it.
no, that's Isan. Never mind. I stand corrected. It's funny to see Isan now.
Oh yeah, he looks like a total.
He's so different. I joked that him and fuck, what was that guy that just got like last year or the year before? He was like a leaks dude, and he was like hiding away, and he had like diplomatic immunity, and then they finally arrested him and everything.
Are you serious?
Fuck, why can't I think of his name? Anyways, him and Isan look like fucking twins if you put them side by side. It's the weirdest thing. I even made a meme
He wears
about
like
it.
black turtleneck, shaved sides.
He's like
but,
a hipster looking dude.
Yeah.
With the glasses and everything. He's very, very
But then when he
talented.
plays like his music, you're like, whoa, that's some total different person right there.
Film the whole thing, make a fucking snuff movie out of it.
Oh, here we go.
Stay out of it.
Julian Assange. So look at him. And look at Isan. Like, they look like they could be fucking twin brothers. Especially when they took him away. Yeah, alright, look at, here's him, like, later on. Doesn't that look like Isan? Like, you could look at that and be like, that is Isan, but it totally isn't. At bare minimum, they look like they're related.
I can
It's
see
the
it.
craziest thing.
Twins, I can see it.
Yeah.
You were in control. You were a leader. You could still be all of those things if you wanted to.
I believe in you. Here's the big dramatic scene.
It's like she plays a big role in this film.
And then he turned himself. And then he turned himself into a pickle. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Later that day, I noticed that he was drawing into mere despair, joking about a pickle. It was the funniest shit I've seen. I swear.
I love the glasses. The glasses, great.
I didn't even know he wore glasses.
I think maybe I've seen a picture of him wearing glasses.
I mean, his younger years, yeah, but like his later.
Attaching a contract for you to sign. This contract will transfer all the rights to the music and recordings of Burzum from Deathlike Silence to you. I promise I will pay back everything I owe you.
Sure.
Sign the contract.
Did that happen?
The prepaid
What?
envelope.
Him paying back?
He wrote out this contract and
Yeah,
everything?
he wrote out a contract.
Alright.
That's how it all got confused. That this is where I think he wanted to just cut him off, But him throwing out that he wanted to make a snuff film is what triggered Varg.
Yeah, I knew about that. Like Varg got like paranoid and thought what I heard as Varg's defense was that Varg was sure that Euronymous was luring him to attack him, and it was self-defense.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to believe that Varg got that much pussy, man. Like,
Yeah, I heard nothing about that.
I don't know about
As long as
that.
he kept it really quiet, then so be it. But like I said, there was that one girl who maybe that might have been her. He said that she was very poppy into pop music, and that he had a daughter with her. But like he like just cut them off.
I mean,
completely.
maybe. I don't know. Again, I don't know what things are like in Norway,
Norway,
but
it's a magical place. Who does he play again? That guy? He's supposed to be Snorre, right?
yeah, maybe.
Because wasn't he the same
Only
person
half paying
that
attention.
stabbed the person?
No. That was the Faust stabbed the guy.
So Faust is already in jail then. By
No,
then.
no. He hasn't been caught yet.
No. Yeah, because that dude goes back and forth with Varg and Euronymous told him that he wanted to make a snuff film.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got paranoid, but after all that, a lot went down. But the thing is, yeah, instead of mailing it, he wanted to go deliver it to him.
What's going on? We're leaving. But where? Let's go! Yeah!
Shit's about to go down.
You know,
I remember this was a point of contention too because
Henry dyeing his hair black.
well, also he cut his hair, and there was an argument about whether. So they depict it as she cuts his hair because he decides to cut his hair to like change his. Basically, they make it out like he's like growing up, he's maturing, he's moving on, but the explanation that I heard was that that's actually really dumb. The only reason his hair is short in the autopsy photos is because they cut his hair to do the autopsy.
Yeah.
Which actually really makes sense. And I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I think it is.
I don't think it is, but I did hear about how they chopped his hair.
Yeah, like he didn't do that. That was like after the fact.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters, but it was just another thing I remember them talking about. It does trip me out hearing about all the driving they did. Like, in the again, I can't recommend enough Fenris's commentaries on the first on really all of the. You can find some of them on YouTube too. On the Dark Throne albums, and he talks about them driving back and forth between like Sweden and Norway and driving like 100 miles to record stuff and collaborate. And I'm like, man, that's a lot of effort.
Or just to pass along equipments to each other as well. In the commentaries, he would say like, "Oh, this is what we were doing," and then whenever we forget something, we would literally drive on that spot back and forth, and then just finish up recording other stuff.
Yeah.
Within the next day or so, or pull all-nighters.
And they're all driving like these shitty cars too. They probably didn't have proper like heating and everything.
Well, yeah, they didn't have buses to go back and forth.
They didn't have money either. I mean, Fenris still working for like the postal service, isn't he?
Yeah, and they own Euronymous' shop.
Do they?
Yeah, they own it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, they have a co-owner too.
I thought it just went into disrepair or whatever. What?
No, yeah. He gained access to it like in the late '90s, I think. But they also have someone else taking care of it because they're not always there. Because Fenris works at the postal office, and gosh, what's his real name? Ted.
Yeah, Ted. That's
he's
the
a-
best black metal name ever. Ted.
He's not an English. He's a teacher.
Yeah, he's a teacher. Yeah.
So he has to like grade like everyone's stuff, so they never have enough time to do anything.
I love that. That's something I love about Dark Throne is that they just seem like two just like grounded, just entertaining, funny dudes that just happen to make this really ridiculous music, and they don't really like buy into the craziness of it.
Yeah.
I love interviews like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would not doubt hanging out with them would be really interesting, but like you gotta remember, they're like beyond this whole black metal.
Yeah. They're just people at the end of the day. And again, like that's what I'm interested in, like what makes these people tick. I loved I interviewed Sammy Hinka of Ensiferum.
Really?
He's the bass player, and we just hung out at the bar before they played at the Hawthorne.
Ah.
And he's a substitute kindergarten teacher in his spare time. And I just thought that was the best.
That's interesting. Fucking doesn't even know how to pump the gas. Oh my god. I need to look this up. Uranus with short hair.
Yeah, they've got the...
There's an autopsy
I've
picture
seen
you
it.
said?
Yeah,
I've
I
never
think
seen
so. I remember looking it up because I was curious. Oh wow, they even have the...
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, short hair. And the...
He had a beard?
And
Wow.
the college shirt. Maybe it wasn't for that. They had some sort of explanation as to why his hair was cut off. But it is funny though. He's wearing the college shirt, but then he's wearing like track pants. He's going for like the Polish mobster look.
Well, at least they got the pants right. Could you imagine all this whole, oh, I'm gonna murder him, just make a snuff film, if it was like just all a joke and just Varg took it too seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That would have been quite a twist, but you know, Varg keeps milking the cow saying, yeah, he wanted to murder me.
I'm trying to find what he said about the hair. Varg said Euronymous was a homosexual in the closet. He hadn't left the closet yet, but we all know what he was and where he was. This, of course, makes the completely made-up character Anne Marit in the movie rather ludicrous. Didn't have a girlfriend. Nobody in the scene had that name. Yada, yada, yada. About his hair. On the autopsy report, Euronymous has no hair because when they performed the autopsy, they cut off all his hair because he had a big wound in his forehead and because I killed him with a stab to the forehead.
Where are you reading this from? His website?
UltimateGuitar.com is what came up with,
Wow.
with the interview. But I think this is actually just a transcript of the video he did talking about this when it came out, because I remember watching this. So the knife was stuck in his skull. I remember watching this video and being really disturbed at how nonchalantly he talks about how
Like it was nothing.
Yeah. Like that's why I'm still of the opinion that like some people act like Varg is just like whatever, but like he's clearly he's a problem.
Yeah.
But that said, he's very interesting.
Yes, I could have, but I wanted this done right away.
All the way from Bergen.
Yes.
In the middle of the night.
Yes. I'm here now, so why don't you just open the fucking door?
A little sketchy.
Oh yeah, I would too, to be honest.
They did dress him in the way that he is in that picture I just looked at on Dead on the Ground. Track pants and college shirt for whatever reason. But that does, as looking at that picture, that does throw a wrench in what Varg is saying, because he says they cut his hair for the autopsy, but then there's that picture of him in the crime scene, and he has short hair, which would have been pre-autopsy. I don't know. Because you'd think they would take the picture of the crime scene before they messed with it at all, which would have meant he had short hair before it happened. So, I don't know. It's hard to take any of them for real entirely, too, because, I mean, even just taking out the, people wanting to sound the best, you're not going to remember these events clearly because you're under a high-stress situation, and the hippocampus shuts down when you're in high-stress situations, so you're not forming memories accurately, and you're just filling in the blanks.
With the short hair, he does look more like his brother McCulkin.
Yeah.
But the black hair throws.
Dude, I love Macaulay Culkin, dude.
I love him.
Do you? I think I recommended it to you before. Do you ever watch Red Letter Media on YouTube?
Oh my gosh.
The Midwestern dudes who do like, they got famous because they did like the commentaries on like the Star Wars prequels and how bad they are.
Oh really?
But then they do like movie reviews and stuff. But Macaulay Culkin regularly now like hangs out with them and like does videos with them, and he's just hilarious.
Stop treating me like an idiot. I know what you're up to.
No, what the hell are you talking about?
You pretend to be my friend so you can hit me off guard. I'm not gonna let that happen, cocksucker.
Like, this could be a good scene, but I just don't feel like any of this is earned.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I do kind of like his reaction of how just, like, genuinely surprised he is.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop talking, you piece of shit.
Just leave, okay? It's okay. It's okay. We can just forget about all this.
No,
Yes, we can. We can make a...
But they really do make Varg out to be the villain when it's not really clear.
No. There's never gonna be a clear one.
I think I said this in my review when I watched it the first time. I almost wish, and people would have been pissed because, we want to see the big scene, but I almost wish, because we don't know what happened, the film had just shown him go in the door and had it like a dramatic, the camera like stays outside the door, and then it like cuts to like the next day and the police showing up to the crime scene and everything. I just feel like that would have been a better filmmaking decision. But everybody wants to see this play out. That's what everyone's been waiting for. It's watching Varg kill Euronymous.
Oh yeah.
Stop running away, you little pussy.
I'm not saying it didn't go down this way, but we don't know. So, I don't know. I shouldn't crap on it too much because there are plenty of movies I love where the depiction is completely wrong, but it's a good movie, like A Beautiful Mind. There's a lot of things wrong with that movie factually, but it's a really good movie. Braveheart is like completely not accurate at all. Besides basically just taking William Wallace's name, but that's a great movie too.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. But the problem is that this is not a great movie. So if it was a great movie, I could forgive it. But it's like
They tried.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could have done a little more better.
I was excited about this for a while because I remember it got hyped for like 3 years or something, where it was like, and it seemed like it was in like development hell. People kept getting recasted.
Oh yeah, no, I was ready for this film when they were like hyping it up, and I'm just like,
Yeah, but then they started dropping like the trailer and that
the Metallica
awful
thing
music video,
was what threw me off.
Yeah, and it was just like, ugh. But that got me interested enough to be like, okay, I want to watch this just for shits and giggles at least. Yeah, they made Varg just a straight up murderer. Which, I mean, he was, but, like, was it this malicious or was it self-defense like he said it was? I'm interested too. Did that happen?
No.
Was there an eyewitness account from
There-
a neighbor saying that they saw that moment?
Not that
Or
I
is
remember,
this
and I used to study this scene like the heck out of it. The one part I noticed is there was an attempt.
I didn't even know they went out into the hallway. Did they go out?
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit? Okay.
One of them kicks each other down the stairs. I think he kicks Euronymous down the stairs, and he finishes him off down there. It was a lot of flight of stairs. And
Necro Butcher did say that watching this scene made him feel sick.
yeah, I would not doubt. You can only imagine what the people thought who knew them, think about this scene. It's like, like, holy cow, he like just murdered him right there in the middle of the night. Also, Euronymous ran to the bedroom too.
Necro Butcher also said to Loudwire, he said he'd planned to kill Euronymous himself before Varg did it.
I thought that was a joke, but look, he was pretty serious about that. Because he was just done with this craziness. He favored Varg more than Euronymous, because at least Varg was more understanding compared to like Euronymous being all weird with like the skulls of dead and all that.
Supposedly, Jonas studied the autopsy report and tried to reconstruct the killing stab by stab.
You know me. You're my friend. I just talk. I just talk.
This scene, though, I can only imagine, though.
You're an embarrassment. That's all you do is talk. That's why you're gonna die.
No.
Ugh. This is awful to watch.
Nah, this is what we've been waiting for. But at the same time, was it 21 or 27 stab wounds?
It was a lot.
And then,
Too many.
And then the final blow to the skull.
Yeah, I will give them credit too that it is very like they didn't like play up the violence, like because again, like I said, I've watched a lot of fucked up movies, but it's like the violence is so grotesque and ridiculous that it's like I can detach it from reality and be interested in like, oh wow, those are really cool special effects.
Yeah, no.
Whereas this feels more grounded and just like gross.
Honestly, I can believe it like this. I can believe it. It has my attention like that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. The dynamics. I think it might be the blue wall messing it up.
That's what did it for
But
you.
yeah, no, they should have added the part where Euro ran to the bedroom because he remembered he had Dad's on shotgun.
Oh, did they say that? I don't know.
Yeah, he ran to the bedroom and then Varg threw him out of the room, and like they double checked the shotgun. It was empty, like it was like no shells, and then that's what escalated to like the stairways and all.
Story. I told you it was going to end badly.
Again, more narration. Like totally take the sting out of it too. Say cheese.
I mean, in the end, I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like,
I'm just more. Yes, here's where Faust got picked up. I would feel more for this moment if I had some motivation. Like, again, I'm left with kind of like why did this even need to happen? There's just a lot of this, like, what's the point? And I know there are, like, senseless crimes where they're kind of like, seems like there is no point, but there's always, like, something. Like, you study, like, serial killers, there's always some, like, I mean, I was interested in the, not Dahmer, what was that Netflix documentary that they recently did on that serial killer, the really handsome one, God damn it. People were even like standing him, which is really gross, but Bundy. So like they talk about how Bundy like found out that like his mom was actually like his no. The woman he thought was his sister, and he thought his grandpa was his dad, but it turned out that like his sister was really his mom.
Oh, really?
And she just had him really young, and they were ashamed of it, so the grandpa had everyone say that she was his sister. And it's like there's always some weird like family dynamic that like fucks you up. Wow. And then he was also like, I think he was like sexually abused too.
Yeah, he
or
was.
Allegedly, and it's like that is interesting. That explains, like, it doesn't excuse it, but it helps explain what's going on. Yeah.
What drove him into this state of mind.
So that's what this movie's missing. And then it's over. So there you go. There's Lords of Chaos. Not a great movie. What did you think? Because you this is the first time you watched it.
See, mixed reviews. I'm not gonna give it. I don't know. It's a battle between decent and good. I'm not gonna. I don't know which one sounds more like. It was all right.
I can't remember if I gave it an official grade when I did.
It's entertaining. I mean, there's a lot of unnecessarily
It's watchable.
Narrative. Yeah. I mean, if I'm like studying, I'll put it in the background because why not? But like, if I want to sit down and watch, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to start talking about other things.
There's like well, I mean, we did too.
Yeah.
There's like a million other movies I'd rather watch than this. I mean, I'd rank it like personally. It's like a D+, C-. Like, I put it pretty low.
I was gonna say C- for effort. They tried, and they tried to get their
there are
information.
aspects they tried with. Yeah.
Rory Culkin.
Rory. Oh yeah, it's a Cohen too. Yeah. This is the best part, is just playing the real song.
Yeah.
Every time I spend the whole movie thinking about what would make this movie better. And it's like, drop the narration, do more like just good exposition happening in the narrative, playing out in front of you, and also shift the narrative to, because we've all heard this story like a million times before. Do we really need another retelling of like what we already know about?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I want to know something new. I want to hear more about like what was happening in the community, what was happening with their families, like how does that tie into what was going on, like what was the context of all this. That's the story, and that was what I was kind of hoping this would be when I first heard about it. Mm-hmm. And it's just not that at all.
Yeah.
So
it's like, I would recommend it, but to say that I'm gonna buy the movie, nah. But to rent it, sure. But like, it was fairly entertaining. It's just too much. There's a lot of questions there.
It's a shame too, because I wish there were more good like metal themed movies, because there's like really very few. Like another one that comes to mind that was really disappointing to me was Deathgasm. That movie's fucking terrible.
I don't talk about Deathgasm.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I thought it was gonna be really good.
Yeah, it looked. That was one where from the previews I was like, oh, this looks great. Like it's like schlocky and like fun. But then it was like dildo jokes half the time, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's like, who said let's do this, I thought it was going to be really interesting, but it was just...
It was bad.
I forced myself to finish it because I rented it. And it's like, for $3.99 on iTunes, it's like, I kind of have to,
Yeah.
And it's only for like 24 hours, or 48, whatever they do now. and I just had to watch it. And I was like, wow, never again, because it's just gonna be in my head now.
I think the best metal themed movie
You ever
is
watch
probably This Is Spinal Tap.
Spinal-
That's a
No, the
fucking
one
classic.
you should watch is the one that's called Metalhead. The one about the girl. I think he's trying to do like black metal or something.
Oh, I've been meaning to see that. I
You
heard
should-
that was good.
It was really entertaining, really good. Well, I mean, obviously better than Lords of Chaos,
Yeah.
but like it was really good because it actually reflects about a young girl who wants to get into metal, and like her parents are just so
because
boring.
they give you that whole.
It shows
there
her.
it is.
Yeah, it shows her progressing and all, and oh my gosh, it's really good.
It's a foreign movie, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still think it's really underrated.
There's a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that means anything, because Rotten Tomatoes is
I don't
fucking
trust
garbage,
Rotten Tomatoes.
But,
Yeah, no, I recommend it. It's a really good film. And for those who are listening to this,
this Mercure?
Metalhead. What's that?
is this Mercure?
Yes.
Nice.
People whipped on Mercure as well.
I don't-
For being
you know,
involved.
Shit annoys me with that. I think Mercure is very talented.
I think she's amazing. I don't
She's
know why
a great
people whip on
musician.
her. I listen
Because
to
she's
all
not
her...
true cult enough to dude.
The amount of instruments she plays on her albums, I think they're beautiful,
Yeah.
and I hope she
Did you
doesn't
hear
stop.
the latest one?
I have not listened to the latest one.
She just basically dropped all the black metal elements and just like went pure folk. And I'm like, hey, if that's what you want to do, I respect it.
Really?
Well, it's actually really good too.
I think it's also because of she also did just have her first kid too.
Oh, did she?
Oh yeah, she had her kid, a couple months ago.
I saw her perform. She opened
You
for.
seen her?
Yeah.
Fantastic. By the time I was buying my tickets,
Hawthorne
sold
again.
out.
She opened for Enslaved.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was, if I'm getting this right, I think it was Mercure, Wolves in the Throne Room, and there was one other band, and there was Enslaved. And that was a great fucking show. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up on this commentary. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how many people are going to bother listening to this, but maybe it'll give you some company while you're trapped in your quarantine, and or maybe you're listening to this like years down the line since we made it and are enjoying it now. But I hope you do, and this was a good time. If you do enjoy it, as always, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if there's other things you'd like us to do stuff like this with. But that is the end. We've reached the end of the credits here. And any final words?
Nah, that should be it. I mean, film was pretty decent, entertaining. I mean, I recommend it, but at the same time, I don't. But if you stumble upon it, I guess
I
you
never
should,
want to watch it again.
No, after the first time, it's just there in your head, and even if you know the history of it, basically you're having a narrating image of it. But no, yeah, it was quite fun in a way watching it, but it was pretty chill.
Yeah. I love watching. I love doing this. Like, I grew up on, like, my dad introduced me to Mystery Science Theater.
Oh.
And I became enamored with the idea of watching bad movies and watching them with friends and talking about how bad they were. Like, that makes it more entertaining to me. So that's the fun part. All right. Peace.
Peace out.